Let's talk about money for just a second, because this is where a lot of families are making decisions based on assumptions that aren't quite right. People look at what their parents' home is worth and they think that's what they're going to have to work with. But that's not exactly how it works. And I want to make sure you have the real picture before anyone starts signing anything. If you're new here, my name is Meredith Davis with the Wildflower Properties Group, brokered by KSP. I've helped a lot of families navigate the sale of a parent's home. And one of the most important things I do first is sit down early and walk through what the actual net proceeds are going to look like. Not that Z number or the Z estimate, but the real number. Because planning around the wrong number can create some real problems down the road. So, when a home sells, here's what comes off the top before your parents ever even see a dime. Commissions. Realtor commissions typically run between 5 and 6% of the sales price of the home. If a home sells for $400,000, that can be up to $24,000 right there. Then you've got closing costs. Sellers typically pay somewhere between 1 and 3% in additional closing costs. You've got title fees, HOA transfer fees, prorated taxes, and all of these things add up. You might have repairs or need to do some updates to get the home market ready. Sometimes it's minimal, but sometimes if the home has been lived in for 30 or 40 years, which a lot of our parents have, it may need more attention. And if there's still a mortgage, that's another cost because that balance gets paid off at closing. And additionally, if there are any liens on the home, those will get paid at closing as well. So your parent might have a home worth $400,000, but after commissions, closing costs, some repairs, paying off whatever's left over on the mortgage or any kind of lien, then their net proceeds may be closer to 340 or 350, which is still a solid number, but it's very different from 400. Now, here's the good news. If your parents have lived in that home for more than 2 years, which most of them have, they can exclude up to $250,000 of capital gains and taxes, $500 if they're married. So for most people in this situation, taxes aren't really a major concern, but it's always worth a quick conversation with the CPA just to make sure. One thing I do for every client is prepare what's called a net sheet. It's basically a realistic estimate of what they'll walk away from after all is said and done. Before we ever list the home, you will know the bottom line for different price scenarios, 400, 425, 350. No surprises at the closing table. If you want a general sense of this before you even call a realtor, I'm happy to have that conversation. Just reach out to me. The bottom line, know your real net before you make any decisions. The Z number and that number that lands in your parents' bank account are different things. Just know, once you know what you're working with, the real question is, what do they do with it? Do they buy something smaller? Do they rent? Do they move into a community? Coming up next, I'm going to walk through the sell and buy a smaller option scenario and what that actually looks like here in Houston. So I hope to see you in the next video.